God bless and welcome to Texas Honda Channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the package we got from Jack Spania Racing and more parts for this turbo setup on the RSX. So as you can see, we've got us a beautiful intercooler. This will be linked in the description with a discount code. You guys can feel free to buy anything on that website with that discount code. I love saving you guys some money. So sponsors aren't just good for me, they're also good for you guys because you guys can get some discounts. So yeah, and it also came with this other package, which is the part we've been waiting for. We've got this piece in here. All right, and here it is, Jack Spania Racing's oil return. Now this is very similar to other ones on the market, but this is Jack Spania's version of it, and has the gasket. It's real nice. This bolts right to the timing cover. There's a block off plate there from the factory, and this just bolts in its spot and allows an oil return to go directly in without drilling or welding. So I am really excited for this. It's a simple, just bolted on thing, and it comes with the hardware and the -10A in. So I already have the oil return line ran, so all we have to do is bolt that up, and then oil return line is officially ran. And yeah, also got the Evap plug. Now this is for off-road use only, so not to be used on daily driven cars and stuff like that, but this is the Evap Block Off, which I actually am working on a 3D printed file of this, just so that I could have one if I ever needed one in any situation. I could just 3D print one, but I'll have more information on that when that time comes. But yeah, you can get this from Jack Spania. Link is in the description with the discount code, and feel free to use that discount code, guys. It really does help. And here's the intercooler, which is a beautiful construction and design. There is no mounting on it though on this particular one. The one you guys should have mounting brackets on the side, but on this particular one it does not. It's not a big deal. We've got the top section here where the hot will come in and then the cool will come out the bottom. Now the reason I like this style of intercooler more than the other styles is because most K-Series have like a 2 ports here that are connected in one piece, and it's usually just like hot goes in, hot goes out, and it doesn't actually function right. This is how it should be, where the hot is separated from the cool, and this will be more efficient, and it definitely will support more than 500 horsepower on this intercooler. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get the car jacked up, take the front wheel off so you guys can see the timing cover area. Then we will go ahead and get this thing installed. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. All right, so this piece right here is the block off plate that I was talking about. It's right behind the crank pulley. I'm gonna go ahead and undo the 3 10mm bolts. All right, now that we've got this cover off, make sure to clean any remaining Honda bond off of there, which I've already done. Then we can just go ahead and slide the Jack Spania piece up there. And it has some pretty close clearances, but goes right up there, and get the bolts in. All right, so it was harder to get to this bolt right here, so I went ahead and took the -10A in fitting off. I ended up using the factory 10mm bolt for this one because it's just hard to get to with the Allen wrench, but those ones were decently easy. I have small little girl hands, as everyone makes fun of, but they turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I can get up in here pretty well. So if you have bigger hands, you may have a hard time with this, but got it all tightened down, and I'm going to show you there is a gap between this and the crank pulley, so I'm going to show you that real quick. Okay, so right down here you can see this is Jack Spania's oil return piece, and this is the gap right here. I'll try to let you see zoomed in. You can see there's about a 2mm gap between the OEM crank pulley and the bottom of the oil return piece. So it definitely has clearance. Okay, now that we got it installed up there, I went ahead and got the oil return line made and ran. So now all we have to do is just connect this, and that's it. All right, now that we got that done, I wanted to show you from beneath what the oil return looks like. And yes, I know that that sensor is still broken. I'm working on it. It goes right out of the bottom of the turbo, and from the bottom of the turbo, it has a 90, which kind of restricts flow a little bit. So we want to make sure this is going down as much as possible the whole time, and it is. And this has a pretty decent gap below the manifold. I will probably use a clamp and put it around one of the bolts or something to kind of make sure that this doesn't move around. It's looking pretty good. So now we got to get the exhaust downpipe and all that made, which runs from right over there. That'll probably just be dumped directly to the ground, but the exhaust will be ran and connected to the whole thing. So that'll come through here. We got to make sure this isn't interfering with that, but this is plenty of line so we can move it if we need to, and it's not touching anything. So really good. So now we'll go up top. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the block off plug in right here. Again, that will be linked in the description. Now that we've got that in, we're going to go ahead and use this Russell adapter. Now this will also be linked in the description. This one right here is a 1/4 inch to a -6 fuel line fitting. So this will go on the firewall side. And then we have, I believe it's a 5/16 fitting for this one. And these are really cool fittings. Let me show you. So this piece basically goes on the back side, and then it has a few O-rings inside. It slides on, and then you just tighten it down. And just like that, you've got an AN fitting that's quickly removable and can revert back to the factory if you ever want to run the factory fuel line again for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and install this on the back, then install the 5/16 one there. We'll run the fuel line out of the way so it's not up and over the turbo, and then we'll fire it up and see if it's leaking or anything like that. All right, got the fuel line ran and tucked out of the way. Goes all the way back there. So I probably need to get longer line at some point and route it farther over. I just don't want the exhaust heat to be a problem. It's not touching the turbo or anything like that, but we'll get that taken care of. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to start it up, and we're gonna see if it's leaking any oil, any fuel, or anything like that. And we'll go from there. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. Not leaking from any of the oil areas or the fuel areas, so it's all pretty good. Well, there you go. It sounds pretty good. I couldn't have my mic running, so if it was a little excessively loud, sorry about that. The mic doesn't do good with high decibel situations, and it's actually not too loud, surprisingly. But it is turboed, so it acts somewhat of a muffler. But it didn't leak the oil out of the Jack Spania return, so all that's doing good. Everything's looking good. There's no fuel leaks or oil leaks anywhere, so praise God. I am so thankful for that. Next thing we have to do is get this thing to the exhaust shop so we can get that downpipe modified. to have the 90-degree that goes into this, so that way we can have full exhaust. It's going to sound absolutely beautiful. I still have to get intercooler piping before I can actually get the intercooler on. I had plans of putting this on, but I need to get some mounting brackets, so I'm not even going to try to test fit it. I was going to, so sorry about that, guys. We will have more video out on all that stuff when the time comes, so bear with me. But we've made progress for sure. But now I can move the car in and out of the garage, which is absolutely awesome, because right now pushing it in and out really sucked. So now I can actually move it. I will not be driving it, just want you guys to know that. I will not be driving it with it like this unless it's to the exhaust shop and back. No more than that. I still want to get the rest of the intercooler piping and intercooler hooked up. I probably have to buy the piping. I don't think Jack Spania has any right now, and I just want to get this thing done. So I definitely recommend the oil return. It works really well. There's no leaks around it or anything like that. And the oil feed's looking good. The oil return line isn't leaking. So we're good to go. I do need to go grab that oil pressure sensor because I know people are going to complain about that. But I'm working with what I have right now. So bear with me, guys. There will definitely be more coming out in the near future if God wills. But that is basically it. I will see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, share the video around, and go over to More Motorsports Garage before we hit 100K subscribers, and you could enter to win the 100K subscriber giveaway, which is K-Series valve cover and a bunch of other stuff. So please go check it out. Link is in the description. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'll see you in the next one. And as I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.